What's going on, you fucks? Right, I got a tutorial for y'all for color correction. We're gonna get right into it. Get right motherfucking into it. I'm gonna teach y'all how to cook up. Okay? So here, we're gonna add an adjustment layer, right? We added our adjustment layer. We got our clip, right? That's our start, okay? And now, each clip is gonna depend, like each clip is gonna be different. Each clip has to be portrayed in a different light, in a different color. So cut out each clip, but each clip is gonna get cut out. Now I'm gonna quickly do that. Okay, so I have all my clips cut out, right? And from here, let's say you have some plugins, right? We're gonna go and use those. So for me, all right, my favorite plugin is Looks by RG Magic Bullet, right? So we're gonna throw that on there. And then there is a bunch of different color correction tools here, right? So I personally like to start out with 4-way color. We can add Mojo to make shit pop, right? But we're gonna turn that down. We don't need it right now. And then from here, right? So what clip is this? This is the first one, right? So there's purple, orange, okay? There's a lot of brightness. So we're gonna bring the shadows down to make that brightness pop, right? Make that brightness really pop. So midtones up, which is some of the brightness. Highlights, we're actually gonna bring down, because if you bring them up, your image will get messed up and it will get fried. You do not want that. So we're gonna bring the highlights down and then raise our midtones back up a little bit. You do not want to fry your image. That is the key takeaway you can get from color correction. Do not fry it. Alright, so we're going to play around with some highlights here. You know, as Bob Ross once said, you know, let your mess ups be good. You know what I mean? From here, I think red will do us much good. Going with a little red hue will do us a work for this clip. And then it's a little too dark, even on the highlight side. We're gonna bring our highlights back up since it's like a dark red. So the darker the color, the more your highlights are probably gonna have to go up, even if you have the dark color on the highlight portion. So with these midtones here, I think I'm gonna accentuate the purples and the pinks and the reds. So I think I'm actually gonna do, yeah, like that. A bit of pink and purple there, and then the shadows. Just play around with that. Dark red, probably. Alright, and that's that. Okay, Mojo, we can throw some Mojo on there. Really pop it out. Tint, you know. It's basically how you want it. I mean, if you want it fucking, you know, fade it out, you can do that. Fucking, you go the opposite, right? That's what I'm gonna do. Some exposure. Cool it down a bit. Make her hair pop a little more. And then bam. You got yourself a fully color corrected clip. And absolutely bright and pretty and just completely changed. So I'm gonna go ahead and color correct each and every individual one with simply just using Mojo and 4-way color correction in the looks by Magic Bullet looks. So I'm gonna go through each clip and go ahead and do that. Okay, so this is kind of a little bit complex here. That's because we brighten this area back here to make this area pop, but now this area pops too much over here. So with that being said, let's look for where she gets bright at. Go to a bright scene so we can edit it. Alright, so I made a cut right there where it got bright. And then we're simply just gonna lower midtones, lower highlights, and since it's a different colored image, this one looks pretty blue to me, and pink, a little more pink. So we're going to combine pink and red, boost those pink and reds, bam, and boom. Actually, we may need to boost those purples, because as you saw here, they were hella boosted. Not highlights, not midtones. Actually, yeah, let's boost midtones. Support some contrast. I think that might help raise those pinks back to where they were. Yes sir, that definitely helped. There we go. Oh, messed up a cut, that's fine. It happens. Let's start to where the fire ends. So right here. And then you just bring the clip all the way to here. Okay, fix the cut. Now let's get this at full. And let's get it without. Stark difference, stark difference. And so far we've only been working with bluish, pinkish type scenes. Let's go here to an A scene and work on a fire scene, right? And then I'm gonna show you that you can literally get the same exact effect by using the base After Effects, right? Right now I'm using a paid for application, but I will be switching to base effects to show you all that it is possible and you can get the same exact effect using base effects. So let's work on a good fiery clip here. Too much highlight, too much highlight. Too much highlight, too much highlight, too much highlight. Shadows down. If it's bright, shadows down. Right? That's usually a good rule of thumb, but of course art is art. Do whatever you want. I personally like, what do I like here? Reds. I like reds. I want him to cook, because he is cooking. I actually kind of want shadows up. You see what I mean? Subjective. I want my shadows up here, actually, because it looks better, right? Global up, because he's on fire, because I want the entire scene to be up. A little bit of yellow, let it reflect off the midtones, and then highlights. We don't want yellow because that looks too weird. We want orange, right? And then let's throw some punch on it with a little bit of mojo, right? Let's get some punch. Punch is always very helpful. And then let's get negative bleach. Now let's play it without. Looks good, but it's very plain, right? Let's play it with. Very fiery. Way more fiery. Way more deep, and it's burning, you know what I mean? So for these next clips, I am going to do raw color correction with base effects, show that you can get the exact same color and the exact same effect, right? Start with, you know, everybody's favorite, Lumitri color. Basic correction, right? Kind of like what we had earlier with the whole exposure, you know, make it a little contrasty. I kind of want, the exposure is really sensitive, so yeah, like even a 0.6 there brightens it up a little too much. Let's go to 0.4. Brighten the highlights a little bit. I'll lower the shadows. You know, the good old classic. Alright. Whites, bring them out. Blacks, bring them out. Then here we get to the coloring. Alright, so that was simply just lighting. So basically, adjust what you need. You know, we even got some sharpen tools inside of Lumitri. Right? So if you want a sharper image, obviously. We obviously want this a little brighter. So honestly, if you wanted, you could deadass just rock with this, right? It's color corrected in a way that doesn't touch the color like the other clips. Like here, I made it more orange. Here, it matched more purple and blues, right? That's for like a editing. But this, we're just gonna play with the color that is already existing. And if I turn it off, bare, boring, right? Very bare and very boring. But with it on, it's very bright, right? So, very bright, and then with it off, very boring. So, that was simply just playing with the color that we have, but let's make the color pop inside of here. So, we want blues and yellows. Blues and yellows. Alright. So let's throw some blues and yellows on there. Bam. Tint balance. Probably heat. We want it to be a little hot, so we'll bring it up. Curve for more, just get it more bright. And this is just really pushing your boundaries with like how much can change. Like that's really bright. I kind of want to lower that actually to almost to something like that. Just a small amount. And bam, your clip has changed significantly. Alright, and those are some of the basics when it comes to color correcting, and it shows that you can do both and get pretty much the same result, right?